Hi, everybody. Welcome to our webinar today. We're really looking forward to talking to you today, and we're looking forward to talking to the panel right now as well. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here. So I think we have our attendees in the session right now, and some people might trickle in. But I think let's begin right now without further ado, and start off the session pretty strongly. So welcome everybody to this webinar on amplifying your banking and financial services with cloud data and insights. So at the heart of every financial institution's success lies one single all-important factor, and that is customer trust. And today, our aim is to not only unveil the secret to earning that trust and loyalty as a banking and financial community here, but we also hope to help you elevate your customers' experiences to unparalleled heights using the transformative power of technology. We also hope to share how you can go from simply surviving to thriving in this dynamic world of finance. So moving along, according to the Gartner 2023 CIO Agenda Report, the finance industry's technological landscape is rapidly evolving. Banking and investment CIOs are increasingly focused on growth and transformation by leveraging modern digital technologies. So as we navigate this landscape, we find that AI and the cloud have become standard practices, driving efficiency and innovation. Analytics and legacy modernization are also receiving substantial funding, highlighting their importance in shaping the industry's future. But however, technology is not just a means to an end. But for technology to actually make an impact, it has to be empathetic and innovative, addressing what the customer really needs with precision and care. So to truly understand your customers, the data is the key. By gathering the right data and harnessing its insights, we can build predictive capabilities, gain critical customer insights, and inform personalized and meaningful experiences. Once again, I'd like to welcome you all to the webinar, Amplifying Your Banking and Financial Services with Cloud and Data Insights. My name is Rohan Irderaj, and I'm your moderator for today, and it's great to have you here. So first, I wanted to say a little bit about us as a company before I introduce our panelists. So Korcomptenz is a technology transformation services provider with over 19 years of experience. We have over 300 clients worldwide and a team of 250 skilled associates. We are dedicated to delivering innovative solutions that drive business growth. We're headquartered in New Jersey, USA, and we have a research, development, and delivery center in Chennai, India. We offer global services and have offices worldwide. As trusted partners of Microsoft, SAP, Oracle, Salesforce, we serve mid-sized to enterprise-level clients specializing in ERP, CRM, cloud, and web solutions. With operating subsidiaries in India, Canada, and the Middle East, we are committed to providing exceptional support and services to our clients. Our expertise includes high-end data and analytics solutions with proficiency in Azure, AWS, Google Cloud Platform, Oracle, and ServiceNow. We excel in digitally transforming regional banks, credit unions, and FinServ organizations. Moving forward, we'd also like to just take you through our service portfolio and the way that we achieve our customers' needs across three major competencies. As you can see on the screen, engage, enable, and accelerate. Engage focuses on our front-end technologies related to customer engagement and helps you provide a 360-degree view of your customers. Enable drives operational excellence by improving business functions using industry-wide best practices and enterprise solutions. Finally, accelerate propels your business forward with cutting-edge and emerging technologies. So as you can see, we put these pieces together to power your digital transformation. Moving forward, we have quite a packed agenda for today that I'd like to take you through. First, we will be introducing our panelists. Second, we will go and run through the key challenges facing the BFSI and the new next. Next, we will present some solutions from Korcomptenz for BFSI. Next, we will deep dive into cloud ops with some use case scenarios. Then we'll present the data platform powered by AI for BFSI. And finally, we'll leave you with how Korcomptenz can help. So with that, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our panel for today. First, we have Mohan Kannan. Mohan comes with over 2 decades of experience in enterprise and mid-market IT services, business development, entrepreneurship, mergers and acquisitions, and human resource management. He also heads up the customer-facing vertical that supports the BFSI services for Korcomptenz. Thank you, Mohan, for being here.
Thanks, Rohan. Thanks for the invite and a big welcome to the participants and other panelists. Looking forward to an exciting session. Thank you.
Great. Next, we are thrilled to have Mr. Ernest Solomon, a distinguished industry speaker and guest. With extensive experience working with numerous financial and insurance companies, he has been instrumental in leading their digital transformations. Mr. Solomon provides invaluable guidance on essential matters and relevant topics for CIOs and IT vendors, catering to their specific needs. And I believe he just took a recent role with Sora Technology as CIO and CSIO. So welcome, Ernest. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Rohan. Excited to be here with everyone to unlock some new perspectives and strategies together. So looking forward to the discussion.
Thank you. Next, we have Nishant Ghot, our accomplished cloud professional with expertise in cloud architecture and cloud FinOps. With a proven track record in successful cloud projects, he is specialized in optimizing cloud costs and crafting innovative cloud solutions to elevate your business. Hi there, Nishant. Thanks for being here.
Hello, and thank you for the kind introduction. And it's a pleasure to be here with all of you today.
Lastly, we have to introduce Balaji Thiruvenkatachari, who's a seasoned business outcome-focused data and AI practitioner. His expertise in data and artificial intelligence, strategic approach, and innovative solutions make him an invaluable asset in today's data-driven landscape. Thanks, Balaji, for being here.
Hey, Rohan and everybody. Thank you. Thanks to the participants for taking time today. Good evening and good morning. Looking forward to the session. Absolutely.
Great. So just one more housekeeping point before we begin. There will be a question and answer session after the main presentation, and you can ask questions at any time using the panel on the interface. So all lines will be on mute during and after the session, but there will also be a survey and a very important email that will hit your inbox at the end of the session. So make sure to keep your eyes peeled for that. So I think that's all the announcements that we have today. So now we can get into the meat of the webinar today, and the key ask of the industry. So today, digital banking is extremely fast-paced and has incredible speed. But by 2030, banks will become invisible, connected, insights-driven, and purposeful. So to talk about this, I want to hand it over to Ernest Solomon, who is our banking and financial services expert, to take us through the current industry scenario, the key challenges, and also the need of the hour. Ernest, you can please take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Rohan. I really appreciate the intro. So I would say, I think we can all agree that the financial services industry tends to be deeply rooted in tradition, and the digital wave is creating ripples throughout any organization. As we continue to grow, we tend to face significant technical debt due to outdated and inefficient technology solutions and legacy systems. And as a result, I think what we are experiencing is that it hinders our ability to adapt quickly to market changes and to the customer needs. The accumulation of all this technical debt results in increased operational cost, reduced efficiency, and we'll all create cybersecurity vulnerabilities as well. And this particular sector's sensitivity to cyber attacks has prompted regulatory bodies to enforce strict security compliance measures to protect customer data and financial stability. So to address these challenges, digital transformation has become a necessity, and it's really I'm of the opinion it's about embracing a paradigm shift that essentially is a customer experience being reimagined. So as customer experience are rapidly evolving and demand for personalized experiences, whether it's with self-service options, mobile journeys, seamless omni-channel interactions, really, I think the organizations are rapidly trying to meet those, expectations that are required from a customer-centric strategy, which are thereby enabled by core technologies such as cloud and data analytics. So in today's dynamic financial landscape, banks face numerous barriers to achieving sustainable growth. However, the right strategies and tools can address those challenges, and it can be transformed into opportunities for success. So let me kind of break that into two categories for all of us. So one I would say is from a business perspective, from a challenges, and the second one is from an IT perspective. So business areas where we can say whether it's about data residency compliance, it could be justifying the business case, the capital expenditure that we're going to have to do throughout year-over-year perspective as well. It's also about really driving that strategy. It's building it or articulating, I should say, as a joint vision with the business. With a simplified approach to cloud first. It's the customer experience, which is essentially an integrated ecosystem with the fintechs as well. So we should consider. From an IT perspective, I would say, it's the digital transformation driving, technology driven, which is to address technical debt, and then obviously emerging tech being enabled. It's really figuring out ways to reduce or to address the complication or the complex application landscape. It's also about the cloud talent management as well. So how do we as leaders look at to attract, retain, upskill our talent to not only leverage these new emerging tech as well, but to kind of implement them and get the best ROI out of them as well. And last but not least, obviously security, privacy, and compliance, which tend to be at the forefront as well. So now that we've kind of looked at a quick view of the barriers, what does the barriers and how do we kind of highlight the opportunities and how they can be converted? So I would say easier innovation by tapping into the growing cloud ecosystems. We have multiple large vendor ecosystems that we can leverage and enable that to time to market, which is faster. We can look at simpler and simpler ways of acquiring the new fintechs into the cloud and truly delivering an omni-channel journey for the customers with a very tailored experience and tailored products, I should say, which are enabled by customer data analytics as well. We're going to grow our market share, which enables new business models as well. And then obviously, as part of the transformation, you can look at increased inefficiencies, you can look at automation as well, and thereby addressing technical debt. So the needs of the hour, I think what the key point to articulate in this particular slide is really it's about embracing the digital transformation is crucial. As customers increasingly prefer a seamless and personalized digital experience, whether it might be mobile banking, whether it might be with a chatbot, whether it's a digital wallet, it's really investing in advanced technologies such as AI, ML, cloud compute as well, which enables the BFSIs to streamline operations and enhance the customer engagement. But really, the digital transformation has been, it's shifted in its origin, and I would say it's shifted in the sense from being optional to becoming an essential strategic necessity. So the future of the banking has few key landmarks in my view. They must envision and build capabilities across the 4 layers: rethinking customer engagement, AI-powered decisioning, modernizing the core technology stack, as I would say, and it's really the data infrastructure and the operating model. The second aspect, which is about is really building a brand with the rewards and loyalty. And really, I think it's how you increase that market share. So lead with empathy and building a culture of empowerment. Really, it's as a result, I would say it's all about the trust and transparency with our customers. And that's really the core of the strategic customer-centric thought process. So in summary, I think I would say is as we or organizations and leaders usher into these transformative technologies to reshape our organizations, addressing diverse challenges and steering towards desired business outcomes, it's imperative to maintain, I would say, the equilibrium between the strategic brilliance and operational precision. So, as we continue to go through our journey, we ensure that our core operations remain stable, guaranteeing a seamless journey towards the future. So thank you for listening. I'll pass it back to Rohan for additional content.
Thanks, Ernest, for that market perspective. I think I particularly liked what you said about the trust and stability, because as you know, and as we've seen over the last year or so, without that trust and stability, you don't really have anything. So in the era of open finance, no bank can actually do that alone as well. So because of that, we have to examine that future from three perspectives: that of the bank, that of the customer, and also that of the collaborator. So each of these three people will play a central role in defining that next decade of banking. So with this, I'd like to call up Mohan to give us a walkthrough about how Korcomptenz can be that business collaborator for financial services and banking clients. Mohan, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Rohan, and some great points touched upon by Ernest. Trust and stability is of utmost importance in the banking and financial services industry, as we all know. As talked about earlier at Korcomptenz, we divide our solutions under three categories: engage, enable, and accelerate. When we applied those perspectives to the BFS or banking and financial services industry, we came out with our digital experience, digital workplace, and digital business portfolios. These three combined together makes our service catalog, so as to speak. So digital experience is all about our customer's customer, how we identify and acquire them by helping the companies in their marketing strategy and its implementation, to giving the existing customer an omni-channel experience for better customer satisfaction using various digital strategies and technologies like a Salesforce or a Pardot or Microsoft Dynamics C, you name it. When we talk about digital workplace, it's about improving the collaboration and productivity of the teams and of the teams inside the banks and inside the financial services industry, and of aligning the processes and enabling an aligned workforce through our best of breed ERP implementations and ERP products. Maybe Microsoft Dynamics, which is quite popular in the mid-tier banking and financial services industry, especially. By digital business, we help with making real-time decisions by helping customers having actionable insights through their dashboards and interactive reports. We do that by using technologies like Tableau and Power BI staged on top of data warehouses like Snowflakes, etc. We also harness the potential of generative AI like OpenAI and integrate it for further insights. So let's give a few seconds on the slide, right? I mean, this is a real life example of a bank, which is also has some fintech products. It has a 2.2 star reviews on Google with a very intricate details on interaction with the branch, customer service and loan managers, etc. being written online. During our initial meetings, we understand they do not have much data points on their customers at all. There seems to be a huge gap between what the customer expected and what was being delivered. The current CRM which they use, which is given by that core banking solution, seems to be very basic and functional. Leaders are unable to take corrective actions due to lack of actionable data. So Korcomptenz is currently helping them with their CRM strategy and is also helping them redesign their processes and have data-driven approaches towards their customer problems. Having multiple data points of a customer, may it be through active listening on social media, sentimental analysis, etc., are very important to ensure the products and services have higher adoption and following. Now, when you look at this slide, right, this is a very focused slide on how we help BFS customers gain more market share by our marketing capabilities. Like what I said in the previous slide, why I wanted some more time for this is so that you understand, by our marketing capabilities, how we use the same or similar tools, we can further integrate the customer interactions and increase the satisfaction from there. Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics CE are large players in this area, and we have seen, like the example what I told in the last slide, where functional CRM does not do the trick, and we really need to have much higher order CRMs which we use, and then we tend to ensure that not only the acquisition of the customer is there, but also the increase of the customer satisfaction. So this tells you the various ways we can help you do that using our best of breed MarTech and also cloud hosting of some of your custom applications. So thank you, and over to you, Rohan.
Thanks for that, Mohan. Thanks for sharing that the Korcomptenz service catalog is really well aligned to the needs of the BFSI client, and also for showing how, for example, the reviews and the sentiment analysis scrubbed from outside data gives an inside view, which can really help you stabilize operational resilience and enhance efficiency. So now let's see how the cloud can be the underpinning technology to make your foundation even stronger. And for that, we'll go to Nishant. Nishant, you can take it away.
Thanks, Rohan. Hello, everyone, and a big thanks to Ernest and Mohan for shedding light on the exciting world of customer experience and tech. Now, let's steer our ship into my territory, which is leveraging the cloud technology. But before we proceed, remember this quote: what got you here won't get you there. So this quote always remembers and encourages us to keep evolving and adapting to reach our goals. So staying up to date is vital to avoid falling behind. So let's leverage the cloud technology to amplify our success. So here is the list of applications that are powering the BFSI industry, and starting from core banking systems to investment platforms for wealth management, these applications are working together to ensure the seamless operations of BFSI industry. So like any other journey, the cloud adoption in BFSI comes with challenges. So today we will be diving into the hurdles which are faced by financial institutions by managing their applications. So legacy systems are the foundation, but they can be complex to manage. From securing data in the cloud to optimizing costs and performance, the path is multifaceted. So by tackling these challenges head on, financial institutions can embrace innovation and agility, forging a security and successful digital transformation. So let's discover how a cloud adoption challenges like legacy systems and how application modernization will guarantee the. So as I said earlier, like legacy systems can be tough to maintain, but a hybrid cloud can help. So with a hybrid cloud, you can keep your legacy system on-premise or on a private cloud while moving your cloud applications to the public cloud. But this gives you the best of both worlds, the flexibility of a public cloud and security and control of your own environment. So as you grow and change, as your business grow and changes, you can easily move these workloads between the two environments, and when you're ready, you can fully migrate to the cloud. So this slide is talking about revitalizing your legacy systems, and this is all about modernizing those legacy systems with a gradual approach. No need to rush, just take a step by step and migrate them to the cloud by following the 6 R's roadmap: refactor, replace, retire, rehost, replatform, and re-architect. We can give our systems a total upgrade to achieve excellent improvements in performance, scalability, security, and cost effectiveness. So this is one of the case study for our customer who was really facing a serious challenges with their old school mainframe systems. The systems were really slowing them down, and they are in very much need of agility and scalability to meet the current fast-paced world. So after digging deep, we found that the issues are both functional and technical, and their COBOL-based mainframe systems are incredibly difficult to manage, and their data user interface and functionality made it even more complicated to perform the basic tasks. So this made it difficult for our customer to respond quickly to the market demands, and not to mention their maintenance costs are skyrocketing, and even their infrastructure setup was complex and messy. So we have put together a modernization plan to fix all these challenges with their old mainframe systems. So the plan was totally built on a next generation and cloud first technologies, and the user experience was a paradigm. So for flexibility, we used microservices architecture, and for handling peak workloads, we used Kubernetes orchestration. For smooth software releases, we used the CI/CD, and for cost efficiency, we used auto scaling. And for easy data management, we proposed and used managed SQL instances. For lightning fast applications, we implemented the cache services, and to maximize the performance, we use built-in events and AI. And finally, for global accessibility for their users, we implemented the CDN. And after implementing all this, the results were groundbreaking. With our support, our customer achieved a greater innovation, delivering the new features faster than ever. And we effortlessly handled their peak workloads and significantly improved their development process, making it reliable, consistent with the software releases. Not only that, we also optimized their costs and provided fast performance, delivering a seamless experience for their users worldwide. And not to forget, the result was a huge return on investment, and the cost savings of between around 500,000 to 1.6 million per year, depending on their usage. This was a great case study for modernization. So working on cloud should lift your business, but not your cost. Let's explore how strategic cost optimization can turn cloud aspirants into financial realities. So this is our cloud cost optimization approach. First, we discover the customer's existing cloud resources and their usage by conducting several meetings with the product owners and infrastructure owners. Then we assess their resource consumption and figure out what's driving their costs. And based on that, we produce some recommendations for cost optimization strategies. Once we have got a plan in place, then we put them into action, and once we have implemented them, we keep a close eye on how things are going, so that we make sure whatever we implement are yielding the results. So this is one of the case study for again for one of our customer. So where they found they were spending too much money on orphan resources, underutilized and over provisioned resources, and mainly on data transfer. So they also didn't have a good access control or cost monitoring. So we tailored our approach to their needs, and then we focused on improving the visibility, then efficient resource allocation, and optimize their configurations. So this gave us the data what we need to make accurate decisions. Then we helped them in reduce costs. So how is what I'm going to talk next. So by identifying the underutilized or over provisioned resources, by implementing access control for cost monitoring, and to match their workloads, we right-size their instances, and we used auto scaling and reserving their instances. And as part of modernization, we also adopted the serverless and containerized environments. And to streamlining their resource usage, we manage their orphan resources as well. And finally, the cost-efficient caching strategies and access controls to cut the cost on their data transfers. As a result, customer was able to reduce their cost by 300% while improving their security. So when we talk about cloud, security is more than a log, which means like it's a peace of mind in the digital realm. Uh, so now we'll discover how we turn the security challenges into your peace of mind on this journey. All right. So in this slide, we'll be discussing about a critical aspect of our digital world, which is protecting against the digital heist. So digital heist is nothing but a cyber attack which is aimed at stealing your sensitive data, financial assets, and valuable information. We know like a single successful attack can have a far-reaching consequences by impacting customers, partners, and our brand reputation. So by adopting some robust security measures like zero trust security, zero trust, perimeter security, user behavior analysis, etc., we can bolster your security defenses, and therefore by reducing the risk of the digital heist. So this is one of the use case for security, which is SIEM. SIEM is a practice that detects suspicious login attempts and quickly correlates with their other unusual activities. Within seconds, when an alert is raised, it will notify the vigilance security team. Then with the SIEM's automated incident response, the team can dwell into the matter, tracking the threat's origin, and therefore they can neutralize it even before any damage occurs. Beyond its rapid detection capabilities, SIEM also ensures some regulatory compliance with ease, and it also generates precise compliance reports, which are ready for audits and inspections, and sparing the organization from compliance-related stress. As we wrap up my piece on cloud journey, here's a recap of what we have covered so far. First one is about embracing the significance and challenges of adopting advanced cloud technology, guided by a clear hybrid strategy. And second one is about breathing new life into applications through progressive application modernization. And third one is about crafting a well-architected cost optimization strategy. And finally, the securing against the digital heist. With this, I'm giving it back to Rohan. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks, Ashant, for helping us see how cloud ops help with optimal operations, resiliency, and efficiency, and also how being efficient doesn't necessarily have to be at the cost of security. So now in the next segment, we'll explore another very big key disruption, AI, where financial services firms have realized significant benefits across areas. And now with also generative AI, the opportunity is far more significant. So to give us the big picture, we have Balaji showing us the path of the future of banking. So Balaji, over to you.
Awesome, Rohan. I think good to learn about data trust, and then we talked about cloud as well as the modernization journey, right? So let me zoom in further. And before I do that, let me take a leaf from one of the recent surveys and highlight two interesting points that I learned, right? So by 2030, the survey says that pretty much virtually all of the banking activities or transactions will be virtual in some form or fashion, right? That's one point. The second is about 2 billion people in the from the planet would be on digital banking, right? Very interesting perspective. So that what that means is the definition of banking itself has been changing quite rapidly. We all can feel it with customers looking at mobile banking, digital banking, all of these conveniences, and so on and so forth, right? So when we look at and from my experience working with several banks and financial services firms, I see that one of the key requirement is or need of the hour is also to have agility, right? So agility is a key part because the changes are quite rapid, both at the consumer side as well as the technology side of the house, right? So therefore, we talk about what is called as a platform-centric approach. So how do we deal with agility? Is by helping from a platform-centric approach. And what I mean by that is, on the input, you are able to manage that in terms of, whether it's data systems that you're integrating and so on, bringing it to the platform. But more importantly, you're able to respond to the customer changes or other changes on the front end with a lot of the use cases and so on, right? Let's zoom in further. Let's go to the next slide, please. And you will see that there are two capabilities. There's data, and then there is AI and insights that are coming from the platform that make this duality real, right? So if you look at data, there are quite a number of capabilities, particularly from a banking standpoint. Data management, data governance tends to be very key, but there are building blocks of capability that we have seen. So I have helped a client deliver a bank, one of the leading banks from Europe, a global bank based out of Europe. We helped them with the data as a service on the back of a data platform. And the impact is we got their data life cycle, so to speak, in terms of being able to get the data to the users from 11 weeks almost down to 1 day, right? Pretty powerful in terms of being able to respond and react to the market aspect, right? So that's one part of the interesting element. There are a number of capabilities we have helped banks, and we are looking forward to helping many others, right? So that's one part of the value on top of cloud. Now, AI obviously has taken the industry by storm, and here I would like to split it into two parts. There is a predictive capability, which is your traditional AIs, which have been there for recent couple of years, and then the generative part. Let me zoom in terms of use cases that banks and financial services can look at, right? So at the front end, if you look at customer engagement and customer interfacing areas, so you will see that there's quite a bit of adoption in terms of agents. Now, these are not agents, virtual agents. We're not talking about the ones which are based off of Q&A or FAQ type of approach. These are intelligent agents which are powered by a lot of AI and data coming in, so that you can improve your customer satisfaction, customer service elements there, right? So Bank of America, Bank of Tokyo, many clients are leveraging that. Second bigger use case is customer engagement, right? Customer intimacy is a big part of banking work, and you will see that quite a bit of cross-sell, upsell, and customer understanding is a key part that's enabled by AI, right? Now let's look at the operational side or the core of the bank in terms of use cases, right? So two that I would like to draw attention to is you will see that number of processes are getting automated, and the automation is also, when it's powered by AI, it really amplifies the benefits, right? So be it finance processing, invoice processing, or whatnot on the back of NLP or other capabilities, you can see many number of cases there. But the other interesting case is fraud detection and being able to manage fraud, right? Now, there's a traditionally we have used anomaly detection, which is basically saying, hey, what are the patterns of fraud, and then how can I look at the outliers which are fraud, and so on and so forth. So this is something that banks have leveraged, particularly for credit card transactions or anomalies in terms of your deviation from your normal, and so on and so forth, right? So that's a classic case. Contract management is a big thing. So within banking world, what I have seen is there are a lot of interactions, with several parties, which is basically vendors, payment service providers, or other providers, and so on and so forth. And therefore, contract intelligence is something that there's a good use case where you can see a lot of benefits, right? From a strategic standpoint, if you look at it from a broad-based perspective, if you see, there again, there are two that I would like to call. Risk management is a key part where we know risk is at the heart of managing risk is at the heart of financial services. So therefore, whether it's credit risk or helping your loan servicing or so on, very specific use cases are today powered by AI on the back of good customer data or their history and behavior and all of that part. But even use cases like AML are well powered by data and insights, right? And then so there are multiple number of cases that you can see. Let's zoom in a little bit on the generative side. Next slide, please. Yeah. So these are rich capabilities that we have seen. Now, when it comes to generative capability, so that this is, we saw predictive capability, which is basically your forecasting ability to look at what's going to happen next, right? But generative is taking the capability to much higher level, right? So here, given a set of inputs, I'm able to now get new outputs, right? So that's in simple essence, that's what it means. Therein, the survey again is very optimistic in terms of the kind of impact we see both globally across industry and so on. But let's look at the banking use cases because that's of primary interest for us. right? So again, when we look at customer service, you will see that quite a number of agents, like I said, they are all powered on the back of generative capability. But this time we are also we are seeing use cases which are even more functional in nature. What I mean by that is, let's say, a wealth advisory type of a capability is also being looked at. So it's not replacing a traditional wealth management expert, but it's supplementing a wealth management SME so that he can do a lot more on the back of this, right? Productivity and so on and so forth. So that is one side of the use case, right? Then let's talk about fraud. So we just now talked about in the traditional model, a lot of patterns are being used from a fraud standpoint. With generative capability, one of the things that we see is ability to generate synthetic data, right? So that's a big adoption. And one of the primary use case we see is fraud, right? So what I mean by synthetic data is in fraud, one of the key things is how do we know various patterns, right? So each new scenario is a problem child, and we don't have enough data to be able to go after them, right? So synthetic data allows us to say, hey, give me data set which model a certain behavior which the fraudsters are expected to adopt, or they have already done that, right? And this pattern allows me to literally generate new data sets. So therefore, I can go and build models and put them as part of my fraud detection pipeline and process, right? So that's a case. And again, customer engagement and so on. So number of cases are emerging on the back of generative, huge impact, and literally very well helps with the theme that we are going after today, which is amplifying the full capability from a financial services standpoint. Hopefully you got a good view of some of the use cases. I hand it over to Rohan, and happy to answer any questions thereafter on that. Yeah. Rohan, over to you.
Thanks, Balaji. So now to just take us through these next steps, I'd like to invite Mohan to present these.
Sure. Thanks. A lot of good points out there, Balaji, and especially on AI and data and analytics. So, where we want to be a part of your ecosystem is Korcomptenz wants to be your trusted IT partner, right? We want to partner with you in your digital transformation. May it be a small a POC you require, like for example, Balaji was talking about AI-powered bots, etc. You want to try that out. You want something on predictive analytics. You want some solution to be integrated. You can even do a small proof of concept, or you want to get some budget approved from your CFO, and you want a minimum viable product so that you can actually do a demo with a working prototype. For example, in AI, like in computer vision and chatbots, which we're talking about, we can do that as well. Or for a longer term engagement, we can go into a statement of work kind of a model, where in which we can either do a carved out piece of work on a fixed price, or for projects with dynamic requirements that may change frequently from both the business and technology, we can do a TNM, which is a time and material kind of an engagement. These are the types of engagement, but at the end of the day, we really want to work with you through this. And at any given point in time, I'm sure Rohan is going to be getting on with some assessment related stuff and so on. Over back to you, Rohan.
Thanks, Mohan, for that. So if we just go to the next slide, just like to summarize kind of what we've been talking about throughout this session, and kind of leave you with the key points of everything that we've talked about. So first of all, I'd like to call back to Nishant's quote that he shared. What got us here will not take us there. And if anything that you take from the session, I think that's a great summary of the basic things that we've talked about. So to summarize, first we talked with Ernest about trust and stability, and why it's very important for the banking financial services that they really continue to cultivate that trust and stability. He also dived into AI, analytics, and cloud, and how to use those technologies in order to help us get there, as we were talking about. Then Mohan talked about how the customer experience can also help in stabilizing the operations through the cloud. And Nishant expanded on that, on how cloud operations handled efficiently has many layers. So it's not really just about reviewing a bill from AWS or Azure, but instead he showed us that progressive application modernization can do wonderful things for us, and how configuration and frameworks and cloud ops benefits can be realized through that. Then Balaji added that extra layer about AI-powered platformation, giving us a framework with different flavors of banking, with different use case scenarios, and the value delivered where you can actually derive that big bang for the buck. And then, just as you wondered how to get started, Mohan shocked us out on how to engage with us, either by starting small or trusting us as your managed cloud service provider. And with that, now I think we are ready to take on your questions. So please use the question box on the GoToWebinar interface to comment and raise any questions that you have. I'm seeing here that we've actually already got some questions here, and let's start with this one. So this person says, can a data platform be leveraged by regional banks or credit unions like ours?
Can I take that question, Rohan?
Sure, go ahead, Balaji. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely, right? So I will draw two elements, right? So one of the customers I worked with, it's a bank out of Australia, but global in that nature, and one of their first use cases was AI-powered automation, and the journey was to kickstart small, but then again look at a platform-based approach, so that many number of use cases across many of these processes can be leveraged, right? So absolutely, it's a journey. You start with one of the use cases that's most important to you in terms of the return, right? And the second aspect I would say is with cloud, we get a lot of flexibility, right? So literally, you just need to pay based on the usage and the consumption that you go with, and it can be with smaller budget or so on. But then most important is the speed as well, right? With the cloud, I can spin up good capability within days, not months or weeks, right? So technology today helps us do that very well, and absolutely banks can leverage that and kickstart the data platform journey. Yeah.
Great, thank you, Balaji, for that answer. Another question we have here is, how does one ensure we manage our reputation online and also increase our customer satisfaction scores, even though we do not have any current term plans to upgrade our IT landscape?
Rohan, can I take that question?
Go ahead. Yeah.
I think it's a follow-up to what I was saying. So that's an excellent question. How can I do more or achieve all what you're saying without costly infrastructure upgrades? I mean, we get it. I mean, it's something our existing and prospective customers ask us all the time. So we take the following approaches, right? First, we try and see how we can maximize your existing tools and your landscape, and is it configured and is it doing what it's supposed to be doing, and optimize it. Number two, if some of these tools came in as a bundle along with your core banking system, etc., we might recommend some more robust systems as per your budget and seamlessly integrated with your core. Thirdly, on top of that, we can also do a study of your assets landscape and give more recommendations of a to-be architecture or a landscape, so that you can take it in for any future budgeting meeting with your CIO or a CFO or your board. So it depends. Everything depends on your current usable assets and the choice of tools and added functionality, etc. Right? So for all this, we can do for whoever asks that, we can do a no obligation, no cost assessment, and Rohan will provide our coordinates and where you can reach us, and we're happy to help you with this journey. Thanks, Rohan.
Great, thank you. And we have a bunch of questions actually for Nishant here regarding the cloud. Unfortunately, we're going a little bit above time, so I'm going to have to choose one. And rest assured that all these questions, we will answer them. We'll send you an email answer after the session. But for right now, this one question to Nishant is, we're all for modernization, but we worry that changing things might confuse our employees and customers. How can we update without causing confusion for the people who rely on our services? Nishant, over to you.
Yeah, so it's a valid concern, yeah, to be honest. But modernization is all about improvement. It's not a confusion. As we discussed earlier in our slides, we can take small steps, like updating one thing at a time, and so that everyone can adjust gradually. Also, we can involve employees and customers in the process, which will help us understand their needs better. And we also can provide a clear communication about the changes, and maybe by providing user-friendly training, and which can make them transition smoother. One thing to remember is modernization is always to make things better, not complicated. I hope that answers.
Thanks, Sushant, for that. So we're coming actually to the end of our time here, unfortunately, and I want to thank you all for your patient listening. So if there were any unanswered questions during the live webinar, we will follow up with you offline and we'll make sure that your question gets answered. Of course, we encourage you to connect with us to learn more and discuss your strategies. So as an attendee of this webinar, we're actually sending out a special offer on a no obligation assessment for your cloud and data needs. So if there's anything you might want to get us for, please contact us for more information at sales@korcomptenz.com. With that being said, I'd like to thank the panel. I'd like to thank all the attendees as well for attending. And I really hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. So thank you guys for coming.
Thank
Thanks.
you,
Thank
Rohan.
you,
Thank
Rohan.
you, and have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.